Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, a great panel with former Speaker of the Nevada Assembly, John Oceguera, and former State Senator Warren Hardy, both here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers. Big R is Northern Nevada's #1 Golden Fire wood pellet supplier. More heat, less ash, 100% natural, and no additives. And there's only one place that stocks this many wood pellets, and that's Big R in Sparks, Winnemucca, Fallon, Fernley, and Lovelock. A river of wood pellets at Big R.
'Tis the season for the Holiday Cash Express at Tamarack Casino. We're trimming the tree with weekly cash giveaways, including a $5,000 winner every Saturday, plus $70,000 in grand prize stocking stuffers, including two $15,000 Holiday Cash winners guaranteed. It's a good time to win at Tamarack Casino.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
Remember 2010 in Northern Nevada, 13 to 14% unemployment, thousands of homes in foreclosure, Nevada's casinos closing? Families in the Reno-Sparks area were hurting. Many were losing everything. Then Story County launched a game changer for our region, a public-private industrial partnership, streamlined permitting, slashed bureaucracy, attracting Fortune 500 companies that made Nevada their home. Story County generated a river of cash to area communities. Economic studies by the state and others for the Gigafactory consistently show positive economic benefits for our region. $4 billion in local wages, $17 billion in consumer spending and economic activity, over $100 million in taxes to Washoe, Story, Reno, Sparks, and Nevada, just for the Gigafactory alone. Story County, improving Northern Nevada one industry at a time.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from the Ahern Hotel in Las Vegas. We're delighted to have a great panel here. John Oceguera is here. He's the former Speaker of the Nevada Assembly. And former State Senator Warren Hardy is here as well, principal with the Hardy Consulting Group. And John is with Strategies 360. Starting with you, John. So your thoughts on the caucus/primary. Is this crazy or what?
Yes, well, I'm not sure. I'd love to sit down with some of the leadership and find out what the strategy is, because I'm not sure I understand the strategy. Maybe Warren can walk me through it, but yeah, I mean, we've got a system set up for a primary, but we're going to do a caucus. I just help
Don't
me.
ask me. Don't ask me.
Well, it seems it's all being pointed towards nominating Donald Trump. So that seems to be the plan. But it seems so difficult to get people to vote to begin with. It's difficult to get people to go down ticket, even more so. And so we're just complicating the process.
Well, here's an idea. Why don't we get why don't we decide on a process that we can actually elect fairly a leader who can actually win a general election instead of figuring out all these stratagems about how to get them elected and get cute. The sooner the Republican Party can get past the Donald Trump era, the better. And if we don't,
you're a Republican.
And I'm a Republican, have been for years. I'm a Reagan-Kemp Republican. Haven't moved 1 inch in my 30 years since I became a Reagan-Kemp Republican. And the Republican Party is an absolute disaster.
It seems like the Democratic Party in the state of Nevada got itself back together again by removing the Bernie leadership that they had and bringing in a more moderate leadership. Are you comfortable with where the Democratic Party is at this point in time? And you are a Democrat?
I am a Democrat. Yeah, look, I don't know why somebody would want to take on that role, but there was a good choice there. I think Danielle Monroe is a really good leader and a powerful figure in the state. She's the chair of the Ways and Means Committee. And so I think that she will do a good job organizing and putting the Democratic Party back on path.
All right, so the next topic, ranked choice voting. Does this sound like a good plan?
You know, so I'll paraphrase, I think it was Winston Churchill that said democracy is the worst form of government in the world except for all the others. I'm at a place now, given the events of the last 10 years, I don't see an option. We're in a situation in Nevada because really, frankly, both parties. You've got to go so far to the left to win a Democratic primary. You've got to go so far to the right. John and I don't think could be elected in the legislature. John's a solid, Democrat guy. I'm a solid Republican guy, but we're sort of centrist. We work together. We spent hours working together to work out compromise. You can't do that anymore, and neither one of us could be elected because we're not far enough to the left or the right. Do I like it? Absolutely not. Do I think it's the only way to go? Unfortunately, it is.
All right, so you think that we're going to end up, John, seeing more independents coming out of this?
Well, so that's interesting. So just piggybacking a little bit on this question 3 issue, I went to a presentation just the other night to kind of, with an open mind, to listen. I wasn't completely convinced, I'll be honest. I was skeptical after I left. I was there with an open mind, but I was skeptical after I left. One of the issues that they bring up is the independent voter or the nonpartisan voter, and that's the issue. Well, part of the reason that we have so many independent nonpartisan, part of the reason, is because we register them immediately at the DMV.
Big part of the reason.
Right, and so are those people truly nonpartisans or independents? No, right? Like, they're not. They have a leaning one way or the other. Do we need more people in the middle? 100%. Is this the answer? I'm not sure, right? I think it's a little confusing for folks, and I think whenever something's a little confusing, people tend to shy away, and I don't want people not to vote. So I'm not convinced, but I could be convinced. How's that?
And I don't think.
Why don't we go to open primaries?
Well, and that's the other question, right? Is ranked choice voting the best way to do it, or let's just open primaries? I got to be honest with you, I haven't done a deep enough dive beyond the fact that what we're doing is not working anymore because of the party dynamic. But I'm not. I think there's too much read into the fact that this will somehow benefit independents, because I think the people that will benefit the most are the centrist Democrats and the centrist Republicans that actually can get through a primary. And so just open primaries, plain and simple, might be the answer. I wasn't consulted on the decision to do ranked choice. It's what we have. It's what's in front of us. I know the stakes are high putting it in the Constitution. We've got to be very careful with that.
And why
but
do
you
we
may
keep
be right.
doing that? We keep throwing
Because that's
things-
what we do in Nevada.
But it doesn't make any sense.
We put our tax policy in the Constitution. How much sense does that make? None.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Do you want a final word on that?
No, I mean, as far as open primary ranked choice, right? Like, do we have to do something? That's why I said I went into it with an open mind, because I do think we need to do something. Does it change things at the congressional level? I doubt it, right? Because when you go there, you got to either put on a red jersey or a blue jersey, right? It wouldn't matter if you got elected from a state that did ranked choice. They would still say, okay, what side are you on? And you'd have to, kind of fall in line. In Nevada, I mean, look at right now. I mean, we elected a Republican governor. We elected a Republican lieutenant governor. Just a few short years ago, we had a Republican assembly. So our electorate, I feel, is smart and are doing the right things when they're voting their conscience. So
Okay.
Sorry, Sam.
Go ahead.
What I'd really like to do is go back and go to the core of the problem. The core of the problem is what caused this far left, far right push. And I believe it's term limits. I think term limits are the worst thing we've ever done in the state of Nevada. Back in our time, yeah, we fought during the primaries. I put candidates against John. John put candidates against me, and we fought during the campaign. Then when the campaign was over, we put our differences aside and we went to work, both sides. John had a different view in some cases about what was best for the state of Nevada than I did, but he was genuine in his belief. So I respected it, and we worked together, sometimes loudly, but we worked together, right, to try to. That doesn't happen anymore because of term limits. the legislative campaign, the legislative sessions are an extension of the campaigns. So this is a Band-Aid to fix a bigger problem, but we will never get the term limit genie back in the bottle. So we've got to do something different.
Okay, so you talked about Republicans getting elected beyond this election cycle, but previously, 2014, that was because Democrats stayed home. So nobody talks about, you know, do people stay home because they're sick of what they see as the extreme right and the extreme left? We saw the Democratic Party fix itself in the state. We're not seeing the Republican Party fix itself. But then again, can you tell me a time in the last 25, 30 years that a Republican Party, per se, has been fixed?
Look, I came to the conclusion a long time ago, after my first election to the Assembly in 1991, that the party was going to be no help to me, and they were going to be a hindrance. So I went alone. The reality of it is local politics in Nevada, just like most other states, are driven by national atmospherics, what's happening at the national level. So when we see that kind of a dramatic thing happen, almost always driven by what's going on nationally.
Well, the other thing is, whatever happened to the media? If you go back 30, 40 years in Nevada, especially, you know, my experience would have been in northern Nevada, but I know that there was certainly great political coverage down here in southern Nevada as well. You don't have that. The TV consultants say politics is boring on a local level. They don't want to cover it. So the public is uneducated about what the real issues are they not?
No, I just answer that with a, you're right. Yeah, I mean, I think you're hitting it right on the head. Even in these markets, right? Like Vegas is a decent sized market now. People come and go, right?
2.3 million, right?
Yeah.
And that's a core problem too, right alongside term limits, is the fact that the media, the dynamic of the media has changed so significantly. We don't really have news reports anymore. We have the left and the right. We have Fox News that does the right, and now CNN, which used to be a reliable source of information when I was coming up, now is sort of the left, and it's the left and the right. Where do you go to get news? It's hard to find.
Well,
Twitter.
Twitter.
I believe it's called Nevada Newsmakers, at least.
Besides Nevada Newsmakers, where do you go to get news?
Well, I think that you have always had to do this, which is you have to have a variety of news and find things from outside of your comfort zone as well as inside your comfort zone and decide where the middle ground is, because I mean that's really where the truth always lies. And you have to do work to do that. And I think you need to do more reading. I don't think that broadcast is the place where you're going to get the information unless you want to know about the fire or the car accident or the traffic jam.
Well, we've created echo chambers, and most Nevadans are very comfortable in their own echo chamber, and they don't venture out. And until you start venturing out of your own echo chamber, democracy needs an informed, intelligent, engaged electorate. And I think what's happening now in politics is an existential threat to our way of life.
You agree?
Wow, I couldn't have said it better. Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's.
Not sure what existential means, but
That's a big word.
We can look it up. We can Google it. Redistricting should have said that every office up until the next redistricting session will be Democrat. But yet, as you pointed out, we ended up with a Republican governor and lieutenant governor. So what does that say about what they tried to do with redistricting? Also, Dina Titus was not happy about her district, but yet she killed.
Yeah, well, as far as the governor goes, that's a statewide election. So, you know, I mean, the district isn't, there's no district,
right.
It's just the state, right? So the people spoke.
It's a very big district.
It's a very big district. Yeah, you know, it's a tough state to, we went through it and we tried to put together these maps when I was in the legislature. And, you know, you've got this huge population base in southern Nevada, and then you've got, you know, large areas of geography with not a lot of people in them. So it's, you know, very difficult to redistrict. I mean, I was talking to a Board of Regent the other night who has North Las Vegas all the way to Elko.
It's insane.
Those two things are not the same.
No, and you know, you talk to Pico Okachia and ask him how much mileage he has on his truck. It's not a pretty picture. No. Your thoughts on this?
No, I mean, it goes back to, I mean, I just think that redistricting is, you can get cute one way or the other. I think at some point The Republicans just need to buy into the fact that mail-in ballots are here. They're going to be here. But again, I think the last election was driven by what happened nationally, and I think states like Nevada, I think you can look to the national atmospherics politically to determine what's likely to happen in Nevada.
All right. So you mentioned the mail-in ballots. With whatever changes are made, and if one side thinks that it's going to be a benefit to them, isn't the reality that instead of just complaining about it, if it's a done deal, then you've got to figure out how to make this new system work as well for you as it is for the side that thinks that they're going to get the benefit from it? Is that not correct?
No, I think that's correct. And I think political consultants have changed the way they do things, not only in mail and when they deliver the mail, but in digital advertising and all sorts of other mediums, right, that they're talking to voters, because they know they have to talk to them not 3 days before election day. They have to talk to them 2 weeks plus, and they have to continue to communicate to them so that they can get those ballots in. I think people would be just pleased if they could get the elections results on election night.
Right. Boy, you're a Democrat saying that.
I am, and it seems like an easy change to me, but clearly it's not. That we would move those dates back just a wee bit.
Why is it? I've talked to the Secretary of State, and he says no. You've got. It's like, I think it can be done. The public really, we are so focused on results. We want to know, what the football match, result is going to be, or the hockey game, or whatever. That day, we don't want to wait a week for it.
In fairness to the Secretary of State.
And I like him, by the way.
I do too, and by the way, he's doing an excellent job, as did our previous Secretary of State. We've had good Secretary of States in this. But in fairness to them, it's exceptionally important in the United States of America that our elections are right, and that the people trust them, right? So
100%.
If it takes a little extra time, and it shouldn't, but the process, the things that he has been, and she before him, have been given to deal with are just the reality that you have to be able to say unequivocally, when you look at the camera at the end of the night or 4 days later, these results are fair. Now, with regard to mail-in ballots, I think I was trying to say the same thing you are, and that's the new reality, and the Republicans should figure out how to do it, and they will. But by the same token, there are questions and concerns about mail-in balloting that need to be addressed beyond the point of how it benefits my party. Well, ballot harvesting. In Nevada, we have ballot harvesting, which was a felony, and then one day somebody flipped a switch because of COVID and said, no, it's okay to harvest ballots. We've got to figure that out.
Okay,
and we've got to
explain very briefly what that means, ballot harvesting.
Ballot harvesting is where you can go collect from your church, from your union, from your neighborhood, from your family, ballots that were cast and take them in on behalf of the person. We have to find a way to make sure that our elections are deemed fair by the public. It doesn't help to have a president who inaccurately is calling the effects or the events or the results of the election unfair with no basis. But it's critically important that we do that. And to me, the last thing out there that really raises questions and causes concern in the mind of a reasonable person is the potential for mischief with ballot harvesting. So things like that, the question of when ballots are counted, how they're counted, we've got to spend some time on those things, because the United States of America does not exist if we can't trust our electoral process.
Okay, ballot harvesting, John, your thought?
Well, I think most of what Warren said I agree with. I do think that there are some exceptions, right? Like if I had a sick family member at home, I ought to be able to grab their ballot, take it with my ballot, and put it in the mailbox. I don't think that. There are some areas in rural Nevada, some Native American reservations that, it's 2 hours to go to vote. I think we can deputize, if you will, somebody to grab the ballots and take them and drive 2 hours to turn them in. So I think there are exceptions, but yeah, do I think that we should have a table where everybody fills out the ballot the way we want them to and then put it in? No. But I don't know that that's happening in a widespread way. if at all.
And it doesn't matter if it is. If the perception is that it is and you can't clearly demonstrate that it isn't, we've got a problem. And the things you're talking about with family members, no brainer, right? Rural, we already do that with ballots anyway. We give them and they bring them to the county seat. Those things can be addressed. What I'm arguing is, let's address them. Let's come up with those exceptions and put it in statute. And here's how ballot harvesting is going to be legal in the state of Nevada. Right now, we went from, if you harvest ballots, you are subject to a felony charge, to knock yourself out. And that's a bad idea. There's got to be something in between.
So kind of like legalization of marijuana, we just need to take it in stages.
Figure out the consequences.
We'll be right back after this timeout.
It's the $200,000 Cars and Cash giveaways at Carson Valley Inn. Cash and prize drawings Thursdays and Saturdays. Plus, win a 2023 Ford F-150 or we'll pay you cash instead. Don't miss your chance to play and win. Cars and Cash at the Carson Valley Inn.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the air conditioning back on today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why sweat for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your air conditioning fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Take a look at Pro Group Management and see how your workers' comp requirements can be met head-on. By taking a proactive approach, Pro Group can assure that your company is meeting or exceeding state and federal standards. As you move forward in your industry, Pro Group moves with you, simplifying regulatory tasks, clearing the way so you can get the job done and look to your future success. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday, trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low, and our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way, because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're going to take another quick break here because we're running out of time, but I want to have more with these guys after this.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail, we help it grow, and we mean business.
RANNV.org.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project. adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers with former Speaker of the Nevada Assembly, John Oceguera, and former Nevada State Senator Warren Hardy. Traffic in Las Vegas. We're leading up to F1. It's crazy out there.
It is. And sorry, Sam, I was late for your show because of it. But yeah, look, I mean, there's some pain here. Hopefully the reward is worth the pain. I think it will be. But boy, there is some tough times in Southern Nevada right now with traffic.
Warren, your thoughts?
I agree completely with John. I mean, it's going to be worth it, and over time we'll get better at it. But the consequences, or the upside for Nevada is, we're the entertainment capital of the world or we're not. And these are the kinds of events we have to have if we are. And I think we all need to bite the bullet and figure it out.
I think we're looking at $1 billion weekend. What was it? $1.3 billion, I think, was what Steve Hill said. $1.3 billion in one weekend. Amazing. Gentlemen, thank you both for being here. I always appreciate you coming in, despite the traffic. Thank you, guys, and we'll be right back. Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
Everyone is talking about opioids, but they're not the only drugs that can be harmful if taken in large quantities or not as prescribed. You also need to be aware of side effects from anxiety drugs, muscle relaxants, sleep aids, and stimulants. Mixing prescription drugs with other drugs or alcohol can be dangerous. If you take an Ambien with a glass of wine, it may be enough to stop you from breathing. Prescribed drugs can be just as dangerous as illegal drugs. Take medications only as directed.
7 at 7 is a newscast built for your smartphone. It's a 7-minute newscast available every weekday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. at lvrj.com. We don't waste your time, and we give you the day's top stories.
We at the RJ have noticed some similarities between us and a certain BTS character, RJ.
Plus the latest in Las Vegas business, weather, health, and entertainment news. 7 at 7 streaming now on your smartphone.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers, and thanks to everyone at the Ahern Hotel in Las Vegas for their help, including Don, Shane, Crystal, and George. We'll see you.